What's up, everybody? This is Cheesymanfredo, aka Alfredo Morales, and we're back for round three of the Cheesymanfredo telephone game, where I design one character and then I pass it off to several different artists, and one after another, they all draw their own version of the previous artwork. With me today is Give and Take.
Hey guys.
There you are. Do you want me to call you Gib or
Uh,
Hippo?
Gib is the preferred because you can now go to gibandtake.site. That's my brand. That's what I'm doing now.
Awesome. Yeah, check that out, fellas. All right, and today Gib is gonna be my co-host, and we're gonna go through each one of these designs and talk about how they change up. Before we go into that, I want to tell Gib about this is my third time doing this project, and I think I learned a lot about artists doing this. And I realized when it comes to the telephone game, there's three kinds of artists. Yeah, there's three kinds of artists when it comes to this, right? There's style translators, which are people who kind of just directly copy the character, right? They don't really change anything too much of it. There's reinterpreters, who are who are artists who kind of like change the personality and energy of the character, right? Like a lot of maybe the similar stuff are there, but they kind of reinterpret that in their own way. And then there's disruptors, which are artists who just change it up, like they really shake up the box of the design of the character. And today we're gonna like look through all those kinds of artists as we talk about this process. People aren't really one kind of artist; it's more like a XYZ kind of axis thing when it comes to that.
It's more of like a the a decision you can make and how to do this
Hmm.
thing.
No artist is really trapped in that box because I mean, if there's one, if a previous artist like art style is similar to yours, you're probably not going to change too much of it, right? So it all depends on what you're given and what kind of artist you'll be. All right. So I guess with that, we're gonna jump right into it. Okay. And today's character is a snake cowboy. Okay. So for the third round, I thought I'd change it up. The last two rounds were like kind of cute monster girls, but now we're gonna go with a boy, specifically a cowboy, who's a snake man, as you can see, right? And
Yeah, he's I really like a lot about him. I like his gun. I like his face and his eyes.
thank you, I appreciate it. Originally this character was gonna be another color, but I didn't like the original colors I gave him, so I like went into the hues on Photoshop, and I like just changed it to see which one looked better. That's why there's like very interesting choices, like the belt buckle is like a red kind of metal, and the gun is like gold. You know, those weren't like on purpose. Those were just because I was just messing around with like the hue spectrum little thing, little dial on Photoshop, right? And I also want to give him a lot of personality. Like he's like kind of like walking forward. He looks very self
He's
confident.
got a swagger.
Yeah. I dig that. His little frills on his pants are also moving and whatnot. I kind of like messed up on the mouth though, because this tongue doesn't make any sense with the teeth, right?
Yeah, it's coming through the bottom of that one.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, eh, I don't know. I think I didn't catch this at first, and it wasn't until after I finished it, and one of my friends caught it, and I'm like, oh, whatever. It's it doesn't bother me too much, right? And
Yeah, it's fine.
yeah, it's fine. And I gave him zigzags. So I just like zigzags. That's about it. I just wanted to do something that was very different from the last one, which was a cyber goth mummy girl. This is like in a complete opposite direction, I think. All right. I think we go on to yours, Gib, unless you got anything else to say.
No, I like this guy. I guess I could talk about the way I interpreted it
Yeah. Let's go to yours. All right.
on my
So
one.
here's Gibbs. So can you
Yeah, so
tell us what your
the
thought
first
process
thing I
was.
thought,
All right.
my thought process was I tried to draw a snaky neck curling around, and I was like, oh, I don't know how to do that. That's too hard. All right, let's just make him like straight up, you know,
Yeah.
like a straight line saves lives. And then I thought, well, it looks stupid with his neck like right upwards, which is funny. And I thought I should put something there that you couldn't see, and I decided he should have a tattoo. And since he's got a really long neck, he could have quite a long tattoo. So it says Thug Life Snake Wife.
Yeah, yeah, I dig
I
that.
think that's some funny little thing.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so once from that point, I was thinking, okay, if I'm gonna draw him in a silly way, I may as well make him be doing something silly, but also badass. So he's got his gun pointed at you, and he's about to kill you, but he's also drinking a beverage with a lot of straws.
I like the beverage with a lot of straws and the little S going up slurp like a snake. That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah. I didn't change too much about what he was wearing because I liked it a lot. The hat's basically the same.
Hmm.
I guess the I gave him a collar when he didn't have one before, and I got rid of the
The frills,
what do you call them? The frills, the
the little
thingies,
tassels. Yeah,
tassels. That's the
yeah,
word.
yeah.
Because I was it's really just like hard to draw those, and I was like, yeah, whatever.
Uh,
I'm supposed to interpret this. I'm supposed to change it. I'll just get rid of the parts that I can't draw very well.
it's fine. It's interesting. This one did make me chuckle when I first saw it. Um, I feel this is more like you're more of a reinterpreter when it came to my piece, right? Because besides I guess he doesn't have his little like shark tooth smile and the tattoos. Besides like those two, like everything else seems to be there. You kind of changed the energy a little bit, right? Um,
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking like Western, so like what how else is a Western character usually? You go into a bar and he's just sort of sitting there
mhm.
looking at you menacingly.
Yeah, yeah. This,
Like we don't like your non-snake types in these parts. Slurp.
yeah, I dig that. He looks like the silent type, while my version looks like he loves to talk. You know,
Yeah, it looks like the guy who would kick down the door.
right? And this is like the guy at the bar, like, hold on there, with the fucking gun. I dig that. I also like the little pinky you gave him right here. That's hilarious. Like he's drinking some fine wine or something.
Yeah, he's a delicate man now.
Yeah, yeah, I dig that. Yeah, he looks classy with his root beer and multiple straws. Yeah, so I dig this. Anything else you want to say before we go on to the next one?
No, there's lots to say. Well, I guess I noticed I think in the next one
Hmm.
that the color, yeah, the color of the gun has
Oh
changed.
yeah, it's
Probably because of the way that it's in my one, you can't really see the gun very
it
well.
doesn't in yours one's it kind of it looks a little bit more yellowish like my version did, right? But from far away it
Yeah,
looks more gray, right? So they interpret it as a
yeah,
regular like gray gun. Here's the thing with the telephone games, and we mentioned it in previous videos that like um, if something is kind of like out of frame or isn't like clear enough, it's most likely gonna be erased in the next iteration, right?
yeah.
Although this was done by a Perplex Cam, by the way. Um, in case I forgot to mention that earlier. And okay, wait, he goes by they. They they reincorporate a lot of things like you set up. For example, this character has the little tattoo as well, but it's instead of like a long ass phrase like you
Yeah,
put, they just put SNK, right?
snake.
Snick, right? Exactly. He also They also gave him a little like cigar, which works. I guess that's like trying to reincorporate like having something in his mouth, like in your previous picture.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and
he definitely has the attitude as well of like the more cool, calm, collected cowboy than you
right, exact,
because of what I did.
exactly. they also incorporated the red. They made this character have like one red eye, like it's like damaged or something, which I like. It's pretty interesting take. Also kept the character fangs because I guess Perplex Cam realized that it's a snake, so gotta give it like viper fangs. Also made the character more swole and with pants. He also has the little like collar too, but it's more it's like the same color as the little zigzags, which I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
belt buckle's different.
Oh yeah, the belt buckle changed, which is cool. I dig that. What's the belt buckle stays on this particular design of the skull belt buckle like stays on for a good while, and later reincorporated in many different ways later on, as you'll see, right? But besides that, anything else you want to mention about this version?
No, not really. I think they simplified the colors a lot. The sort of dark gray of the clothes is now like a straight black.
It's more striking. I would say Perplex Cam is more of a reinterpreter when it comes to your version, because they didn't really.
What's the
what?
The three different things. There's reinterpreter.
There's reinterpreter.
What's the
there's reinterpreter. There's style translator, and then there's disruptor, right?
So style translator is just draw it basically the same, but with their own style, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like
okay, yeah. So reinterpreter is changing a few things.
Right. Actually, the next one by next one by Ulske. This one. I'd say this one's more of a reinterpreter than a style translator because the energy changes. Like this character is more calm, kind of collective. This character seems like he wants to have more fun. He's more of a.
Or like he's noticed something like, oh, who's there? Gets his gun out.
This character seems excited to shoot people. Right. I also like the weird...
like he's doing a flashy like behind the back thing.
Yeah, like this character wants everyone to know how badass he is, and this was done by Ulske. It's Ullskay. Right, he's a good friend, and I like the energy, just how kind of more goofier, cartoony. He also simplified like a lot what's going on with this character too, right? This is...
the spires on the heels are now just discs.
Yeah. And the little belt buckle skull is more cartoony now. He also gave the character less fingers too. I also like how the neck is still very snake-like. Like in the previous version, that one's very snake-like too. And he drops the tattoo. I guess because it's just art style is more simpler. It doesn't call for having a tattoo right there. He also switched the position of the eyes, I noticed, which happens a lot with these like telephone games. Sometimes one eye would, in the previous version for the Mummy Girl, like I'm pretty sure her eye went back and forth sometimes because she only had one eye exposed until someone decided to give the character two eyes, right? But anything you want to say, Gib?
No, the color change is interesting as well. The more purpley skin, and the very light pink, instead of the very saturated pink before.
Yeah, it feels a little desaturated, but I think that works. They did a good job of when they. I think it's the color change specifically that makes this less of a style translation and more of a reinterpreter, right? And that's all I got to really say about this character. Anything else you want to say, Gib, before we go on to the next one?
Nope.
All right, cool. So the next one is done by Nick, and he keeps the whole kind of like having the gun at a weird angle to kind of show off energy, right? although in this version he looks more evil. And I like how Nick reincorporated the skull and put it on the top of the hat, so it's like still in frame, you know.
Yeah, it's just like it would be covered otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just noticed the shoes look less cowboy and they look more like regular shoes. Actually, wait. Actually, yeah, Perpex Cam's shoes still look pretty cowboyish. But then,
Yeah, very sharp and then more cartoony. Like
yeah, yeah.
I don't know what kind of shoes you would call them. I don't know shoe
I mean, I
names,
just call
but
them cowboy shoes. These look like kind of more like regular kind of dress shoes almost, or like an exaggerated dress.
like work shoes.
Yeah, yeah, and then, yeah, these look more like work shoes too. But I like that he gave it like the little stripes to keep in line with the zigzag. Um, Besides that, I don't think he changes much.
I like the little yellow highlight
Oh yeah, that was good.
everywhere.
Yeah, that was a good choice. I like the thick, bold like outlines. I really dig stuff like that. Um, Besides that, yeah, it doesn't seem to change. It's funny how it seems like I don't think Nick never. Okay, so how the game works is that none of the artists know what the original first version looks like, right? They only know what like
Yeah.
the previous version looks like. So they got to base it off that, right? Cuz I don't want people to like consistently be drawing cowboys. I want to see where the character goes, and you'll see later the character goes in some crazy places. But but it's funny how like Nick kind of reincorporated colors from like two versions ago. Like his color scheme is more in line with what we did, right? Which is
Yeah, the almost neon pink.
yeah, yeah, and I dig that. Yeah, that's great. Anything else you want to say, Gib?
Nope.
All right, cool. So we're going to the next one, which is done by Love Worms, and this is like this is like a shine.
This is crazy.
Yeah, this one's crazy. This one's like a shining example of a disruptor, right? Like like Nick, Utsuke, Perplex Cam, all kind of look like the same character. All kind of have that like same like energy. Well, they all have the very similar things. These all could be said to be the same character, but then Love Worms comes in and just derails it. Right? It's still a snake cowboy, but he really like amps up everything cowboy and everything snake.
Yeah, the arms are so wibbly wobbly. The fingers, the fingernails.
Yeah, these are it's so much energy. It's sorry if you could hear that car, but there's so much energy. It's like yeah, like he saw that it was a snake, and then he gave everything about this character snake-like characteristics. Like it just oozes out, and it's kind of a hard character to read at first, but I think that's what I like about his art style, because you have to like focus and you have to concentrate to appreciate like everything that he does, right? It's just
Yeah.
so much energy, very strong silhouette.
Can you zoom into one of the guns?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's got so much.
Yeah, I like the little like sparkles that he puts there.
Yeah, like it's like well polished guns. I like that he gave him like two guns, and I like the scale. Sorry about that car. I like the scale on the bottom of the feet. These are really great, and he saw that Nick added the stripes on the shoes, and then he saw that those were like those were supposed to resemble the zigzag on the pants, and he really made them into like these. They're not even zigzags anymore. They're more like stitches now, right? Which I dig a lot.
More like bat wings.
Right? Yeah, yeah. It goes with the whole kind of like spiky energy. These are very like exaggerated like cowboy shoes. Just everything about it exaggerated. He gave him a lasso, which works for like a snake character. You know, this is this.
Yeah,
Sorry, go on.
I like how with some of them they sort of take what is there and then simplify it a little, like lose information, but add their style and stuff. But this one adds a lot of information that could be further interpreted, like the the spurs now have skulls on them as well.
Right, right.
Things like that.
Yeah, I dig that. It's kind of like cause I guess the problem with having so many like style translators is that they keep kind of simplifying a lot that what's there. I mean, it's not always the case. Like they don't seem to really be getting simplified, but it feels like we're in this kind of like middle section between like a style translator and a reinterpreter, right? And then along comes Loveworm and like derails that to more of a this to a hella disruptor direction. Just everything about this character is just so different, which I love. All right. Is there anything else you want to say?
Nah, I just really like it.
Yeah, same here. Okay, so the next one is done by hold up, I'm pulling up the list. Next one is done by Coastal Demon, and I I like it. It's more of a Coastal Demon is trying to like saw all this information and try to like simplify it because now like the character is more easy to read. A lot of stuff is like there, but now it's just been like just simplified, you know. So it's just easier to just just to see what obviously it is. It's like a snake cowboy man, right?
Yeah, I like how due to like the sort of hue the previous one gave to the guns, that the gold of the gun is sort of coming back.
Oh yeah,
Even though no, it was gone completely. Like you would never necessarily think to make a gun gold, but it's sort of becoming gold again.
mm-hmm.
Just so happens.
Yeah, I later it stays kind of gold for a little bit, which I like. It's so interesting to see like colors that like seem to disappear come back just out of like nowhere. I think of also I think when I mentioned earlier how like Loveworms feels like every idea just thrown to the wall, right? And Coastal Demon is trying to like smush all those ideas together to kind of like fit a little bit better. But a very interesting thing is I think Coastal Demon saw like this weird. I'm pretty sure this little hole is like a shadow or something under like the muscles of the snake cowboy. But then Coastal Demon just kind of made it into like a hole, right? Which
yeah, you could still sort of read it as a shadow, but there's no other shadows on him
right,
that are that big.
Right, exactly. So it's very
so it does look like a hole.
Right. And the hole kind of stays on for the next one too. Also, he has a
It's like a wound, like a cowboy wound. He's got shot in the heart, but he lived.
It'd been so cool if he took it one step and like made it like a see-through hole or something. Like whatever stabbed him missed all these vital organs, so it's just like a hole that exists there now. I like that the character has a bulge now. That's funny. Makes me chuckle. Still got the lasso. a lot of things are still there, which I dig. Anything else you want to say?
No,
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, this is more of a not really reinterpreter because I feel like the same kind of pose is still there. It's only now like this pose looks like a midair pose, right?
I think like all of the things that were there, like the lasso, the two guns, the the spike redesign, the stripe redesign, like all the things are there. They're just like less insane.
Right, exactly. This is like the character jumping. This is like the character now like on ground doing some sort of pose, right? And yeah, I dig. All right, let's go to the next one, which is done by Angry Max Fury. Yeah, we can just call her Max. And this is this is basically the same. This is what I mean by a style translator, just kind of like just there, but only like in their style. And a lot of there's some differences, but they're pretty small. Like for example, the skull has like X's instead of just being holes like in the previous one.
I can see that eye under like eyelashes thing.
Mm-hmm.
those are starting to become like an actual part of the design.
Yeah, yeah, and Max saw like the eyelashes and then reference a Clockwork Orange up here, if you could see. Put a little line.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. That doesn't stick around. I think it's only in this picture. Um,
is the neck getting longer? Like it got real shortened after I did it, and then it's sort of been snaking
yeah,
further and
yeah,
further.
yeah. So yeah, I had the long neck, and you kept up with the long neck, but then Perplex made it shrank it down, and it was there for a second. Like Ulske looks like he kind of stretches it up a little bit. Nick doesn't really have like just a regular neck, and then Loveworms really stretched it out, and it seemed to be relatively the same size. Max looked like she stretched it out like a little bit more, which I like. Also looks like the character is running towards you now, which is great. And only the character only has one nail exposed now, unlike in the previous one. Um, I I like the weird wacky nails on the character because like I feel like if you had nails that long, it'd be kind of very hard to hold a gun. But it's like this weird kind of like thing. It's kind of like a weird bullshit kind of anime thing where like they have something that seems like it'll get in the way, but they're just so good at using their weapon like it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah,
You get what I mean? Anything else you want to say about Max? Max also kept the hole too, by the way.
yeah.
But yeah,
How's the belt buckle been changing?
hmm,
I haven't noticed that.
it's
It was a skull, and then it became on the
it
hat.
was like fangs, then became a skull, perplex. Yeah, and then it got reincorporated into the hat because I think Nick still wanted the skull to be in the picture. And then you still don't see the belt buckle on this
Yeah.
one, but
So they invented a belt buckle, and they made it just like the spurs.
I think because every person saw that this is clearly like a cowboy, and in their head they're thinking, oh, of course a cowboy has a belt buckle. In Loveworm's version, you don't see the belt buckle at all, but Coastal Demon obviously like came to the conclusion that it would probably be a skull to match with the hat. You know, it just makes sense. And Max did that too.
Yeah.
Only gave it like cutesy like X's for eyes, which is great. Besides that, yeah. Anything else you want to say, Gib, before we go on to the next
Nah,
one?
that's it.
All right, cool. All right, this one was done by Momosaur. Yep, yeah, Momosaur, and it's kind of the same pose. Um, Not that much really changes. Another style translator.
Hmm. I do like how that hole in the chest is still there.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I wonder if like these artists even have an idea what that is. If they just drew it because like it's just there and they're like, all right, it's just there, I guess, right? Um, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it disappears in the next version. Now the guns have turned more like yellow, like in the original version, which is great. I like that Momosaur made these more into like feathers, which is really cool. I dig it. I dig it when characters kind of have like feathers or fur on their clothing. It makes it look very like maybe he hunt down like a bird cowboy or something and used his feathers for his suit. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also the character.
I like how also he's like super ripped.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's Yeah, because this one.
Like it's always been there, but like now it's like big muscles.
Yeah, because like Loveworms kind of gave these weird muscles on the character, weird wobbly muscles. Coastal Demon was pretty skinny. There's like muscle there, but it's pretty skinny. And Max just made the character a little bit more buff, and then like Momo just really like this character looks very shredded now, which I like. And I think in the next version, I think after this, in the next version, they really. Oh wait, no, never mind. Not in the next one, but yeah. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, it's not too much different
Mm-hmm.
to say about this.
They kept the nails. But they didn't make them like long and crazy like any previous version. But yeah, I guess we could go on to the next one, which is done by Headphone Astral. and this is very more. What's the word? It looks more scribbly, right? A lot of previous ideas are there. I don't know. You got any? The lasso's there too, but now it's like in the back, right? And when you do when you do something like that, if you tend to hide something behind a character, usually in the next version, that item is just gonna disappear because just the artist didn't see it or just didn't know what that was, so they just didn't include it, right? But
I kind of like that about this whole thing. Is like the varying amount of like detail some of the artists put in causes the next artist to have to invent things or like try and interpret what these shapes are.
yeah, I really dig that. It's very like interesting. I don't know how many artists in this game are aware of that, because I don't know, what if like an artist wants to like, I don't want this thing to appear on the character next time, so I'm just not gonna put it. I wonder how many have that actual like thought process. I'm surprised that the little skulls on the spurs stayed on. Like usually small details like that tend to like disappear pretty quickly, but they've been consistently on, which is very nice to see.
Oh, the hole in the chest is gone now.
Oh yeah, now like they just, I guess it's so small here they just didn't notice. I'm looking at the eye pupil and I'm wondering if that's been consistent. Alright, yeah, because in Loveworm's version it looks like a regular like pupil, and then Coastal Demon made it like made like a diamond, and then that was been on consistently, right? Which is great. Anything else you want to say before we move on to the next one?
No.
I like the shading on this. The shading on this is pretty good. I'm pretty sure.
The little bit of half tone.
Yeah.
Like at the edge.
Yeah, I like that. I'm pretty sure. Astral like kind of like did this pretty quick. A lot of people like. Some people will take a couple of days. Other people would like take a day to just finish their version. Which I don't mind. They can take as long as they want. But yeah. All right. Let's go on to the next one. All right. This next one was done by Nyala Arts, and I like that they brought. I like how much they exaggerated the neck. They really brought back that snake, you know.
Yeah, it's a question mark.
Yeah.
He's asking you a question.
They should have had the little hole in the chest, and that could have been the dot.
Oh yeah.
I'm asking.
But the lasso's still
there. Yeah,
there.
the lasso's still there. I'm surprised it's still there. A lot of things are just still. Yeah, a lot of things are just like still there. Wait, I'm looking. Yeah, because it seems like.
I like how the bottom of the pants has become more and more flared,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like spiky upwards now.
Yeah, I really do dig stuff like that. This looks like a tail. Like,
And the
he gave the character a tail.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I guess he saw this part, which I don't even know if this is a tail. Hold up. Yeah, because the character didn't have a tail. And then,
no, it's just like the part of the jacket.
yeah, this is like the under part of the jacket, but I guess he interpreted it as the tail. And,
actually kind of looks like the spikes there are not even a jacket, they're just sort of part of him.
yeah. Yeah, it's hard to tell. This is like just a jacket. It could be some weird, just part of the character's body. Like maybe the character has like feathers, some sort of Quetzalcoatl like creature. Yeah, I like how skinny it looks. Very like stretched out. It has a very good silhouette. Anything else you want to say, Gib?
I like the gold and the pink colors.
Mm-hmm.
All the colors work well together.
Yeah, it does. It does. It looks really consistently, really good use of color. No one's really strayed too far from each other. I would say this version of the character looks more energetic than the previous version, so that makes it slightly more of a reinterpreter, less of a style translator. this isn't really too much of a disruptor. There hasn't been a good disruptor in any of these really. It just seemed consistent, like middle ground between style translator, like Coastal Demon to Max to Momo are been very consistent like style translators. Meanwhile, Astral kind of like tones down the muscles, makes the character more skinny, which is translated over to Nila's version of the character. So these two are more style translators to each other than the previous three versions are, right? And then in the but then in the next version, it really does become more of a disruptor. This one's done by Zabel Art, and he really made like the character more beefy, gave him those huge like cartoon Popeyes arms. A lot of stuff. Yeah, it seems like Zabel didn't really cut anything out from the original version. A lot of it's there. Just overall the energy. Like this character feels more like a tank. I like how huge the guns are. They're like these would leave you like a giant.
Like cannons.
Right, exactly. These are like just cannon-sized guns. The character just looks so. The character isn't really drawn swoller, but he just looks like beefier and buffer. I like that he still kind of kept the long neck, but you gotta kind of look closely to notice it.
Yeah. He's got like a strong silhouette. That's what I'm feeling.
Oh yeah, hella strong silhouette. It's really cool that they kept consistently have smoke come out of the gun, like they just shot it. Right. I really like how he draws these like smoke coming out of it. But besides that, yeah, it doesn't seem like Zabel doesn't change. The only thing Zabel seems to change, besides the arms and the guns, is just kind of like the overall energy. The energy just feels like stronger with this version. Anything you want to say, Gib?
I like the spiky shoulder pad almost of the jacket.
I think Zabel realized that this was like a jacket, and he kind of gave like little back pieces of the jacket like right here, right? So
yeah, it's like so tattered and torn because he just burst out of it.
Yeah.
Because of his big arms.
Yeah, I dig that. Yeah, these look really. Huh. Wait, hold on. I'm looking at the.
I also like how the stripes on the pants have become like less of like small details on black pants, but and now like 50-50. Like it's just two
it's all
equal colors.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for stripes like that. Yeah, exactly. That was like in Astral, and not in Astral, in Nyla's version too, as well. Like the zigzags just become huger. Right, which I dig. Yeah, besides that, yeah, Zabel's really good with making things look more sharp, and I like how shinier the character looks too. It really like the scales are very shiny. I dig that. Anything you want to say?
No.
All right, cool. So we go on to the next version, which was done by Lilybird, and this kind of reminds you of like previous versions, like kind of reminds you a little bit of Nick's version a little bit, where Nick made the snake man more humanoid than Snake, right? Although
the shorter neck.
Although this character looks a little bit less beefy, I like that they kept up with the skull being shiny like in the previous version. They just brought that over. I like that the hat's been consistently like. No, I mean in Sable Rock's version, he made the hat very tattered up, and then Lily kept that up, and they seem to add more pink to the pants. They kept the guns being all like gold and metallic, along with the belt buckle. The guns also seem to be like in the same position too. So like Lilybird almost. Besides, like, the hunch and the power of the pose, like, this is just, like, the character standing still. But, like, the guns are also in the same direction as the previous version. Anything you want to add, Gib?
I've just noticed buckle doesn't have a belt anymore. It's just sort of there.
Right.
I guess it looked like that a little bit in the previous one.
Yeah, I think I want to see if actually yeah, that's been yeah, it's not it's just kind of it's okay, so with Momo's version,
Oh, that one you can see that there's like the little loops where you put the belt
yeah,
in,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
Momo's version was like a belt. Astral kind of like
Interpreted those lines as part of the design, I
yeah,
think.
it looks more like kind of like it kind of becomes like a Batman sort of thing, like a bat symbol, like the belt comes with like the belt buckle comes with the pants. It's not actually a belt, right? Which is like a I forget the word. It's like a visual shorthand. Like we know that we know the
Yeah.
character has like the character must have a belt because it has like a buckle, right? Which I think is like the idea behind this. Which is really, I mean, I like it. I've been consistently liking the pants. I don't think there's been like a bad design with the pants. I think they all really did a good job. It
Yeah.
looks a little bit more Power Ranger-y, which I don't mind because I like Power Rangers. But yeah, like I think Lilybird took a lot from Zabo Rock in this version. Anything you want to add, Gib?
Nah, I'm good.
All right. Yeah, I think this is more of a reinterpret than a. It's more of a reinterpret, not too much of a style translation. But yeah, all right. Let's go on to the next version, which is done by the Gadfly, and I really like their aesthetic. I really like this weird kind of like pose that it's doing, right? Like why is he pointing the gun down? You know, but it just I don't know, it just looks good. I like how
What
spiky.
what is that going around the waist or the
I
thighs? It's like a
I don't know what that is because it's clearly supposed to be like the zigzag, but he made it go outside. I don't know what.
maybe maybe they've turned it. Maybe I mean I like also how like the pants are now just pink with black knees.
Right.
The pink is encroaching on the rest of the
Yeah, the
fabric.
pink just
And I guess
grows.
I guess the zigzag is like either a lasso or a belt
Mm-hmm.
or a thing. Maybe a holster.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know what Gad thought this was, but it's. I mean, as later you'll see like this thing kind of like. It's very interesting to see how this kind of zigzag like transforms and how much it changes the character later on in the crazy directions it'll go. Um, but besides that, yeah, I like the pants. The gun is still gold, and it's been consistently gold since. I think it yeah, since Momo's version, the gun's just been consistently gold, which is very just happy to see that make a comeback. It's just so weird how that happens. Um, but yeah, anything else? Anything else you want to bring up, Gib?
Uh, I guess I like how the what's the phrase pigeon toed or like the stance of the legs.
Yeah,
They're like pointing inwards.
yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Yeah, the Gad's art style is pretty good. I really do dig it. All right, the next one is done by Glisslock, and it seems to be more of the same. But now it looks like the pants have become kind of like a onesies with this like gradient that like
Yeah.
goes up. I'm pretty sure these are still shoes, and this is just kind of like a visual shorthand. But besides that, it all seems to be there. Gliss,
The
yeah,
the
go on.
white skull on the belt has come back.
Oh yeah, now they match.
Like it was a yellow, and now it's a white skull.
And Gliss like kept the color yellow just on the guns. Um, yeah, this looks really good. I like the very cut out style. This is more of a these three are more like style translators, right? This is like a good robe style translators right here. Um, all kind of have like the sim all kind of, even though like the guns are like pointing like, if you look at lily birds and you go to the gad, like even though they're different poses, it feels like they have the same energy. You get what I mean?
Yeah, a little bit with the eyes.
I think,
sort of looking at
yeah,
you.
I think it's the eyes, right? Like consistently been the same energy, and I guess these are like the strongest like row of like style translators that we see so far. Later on we'll see some more.
I really like how that zigzag is just like floating. It's like there it is.
Yeah, it's just like this weird thing that like that's yeah, you get like artists who see something and they reinterpret it, you know, like I guess Nick saw the skull belt buckle and put it on the hat. Or actually I can't think of too much of a I can't think of any too big a reinterpretation, but the zigzag, like the evolution of it, and it's just like a thing there. Like I mean, I guess Gliz liked it to just keep it just randomly there, but I guess he didn't see the need to change it. Yeah. Anything you got to say, Gib?
I'm done.
All right, cool. So the next one is done by Kid Breaker, and this is more of a. It's got the same energy as the previous versions, but the style just makes it a little bit more of a disruptor, right? Because
and the boxing glove immediately.
Yeah, the box
was the thing.
Just gives it a boxing glove. The boots look more like something out of Mega Man. This whatever this is, I don't know what this is. I think this is like I think this is supposed to be the zigzag. He just reinterpreted it into whatever this is. I'm not even sure.
I think it might be. I mean, it looks like the sort of thing, like a fabric piece blowing in the wind, like loose fabric thing. But it looks like it's connected to his elbow.
Right.
I don't get it really.
Yeah, I don't get it either. But this little piece of design does a very interesting thing in the next version of this. But anyway, I also want to mention that Kid Breaker, like all of Kid Breaker's characters look like this, right? So it's very like I think there's people whose art style, like I guess Love Worms is like a previous example, who they'll get a character and they'll just make it their character. I think Zabel Rock is also a good example. Any person who's like a disruptor, I guess a big thing about a disruptor is like unless their art style matches the previous version, like they'll get a character and they'll make it their character, right? Because all of Kid Breaker's characters have these energies. If you check them out on Twitter, they all just resemble characters that look like this, right? And I like how he gave the gun like a skull. He also made the gun like kind of pinkish with the eye. Wait, hold up.
Sort of orangey.
Yeah, sort of orangey.
Salmon color.
Yeah. Wait, hold up. Oh damn. So so the red eye. I just realized like the red eye on the right, it disappears right after Astral. Like it's here, but I guess because it's so small, like Nila didn't see it and like gave the face like this.
Oh well, they may have seen it, but they've only got one eye to show. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one side of the face.
Yeah, it's another example of like if you don't show a feature of the character in the next version, it's gonna disappear because now like the eyes became, now it has two regular eyes, you know.
Yeah, he healed, or maybe this is like this is prequel. This is what he used to look like.
Yeah, he used to be like a fighter kind of character. In the previous version, in the Cybergoth Mummy version, the character started out kind of like a belly dancer, but then by the end it became like a fighting character, which I like. And I think this is how it tends to go with these things. The characters usually end up looking like a fighting character. Like a fighting game character, I mean. Anything else you want to say about this? Gib?
I'm just wondering why he added... I guess the boxing glove maybe as an idea came first, but why is the other hand completely pink?
It's like it's wearing a glove.
Also, is it both gloves?
Yeah, they're both wearing gloves.
Yeah. I also like how the jacket, it looks like
It
Like
looks.
what are those Spanish like matador
Oh,
dances
yeah,
almost,
yeah,
like the little frillies.
yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. I was about to say it looks more like a little bit more beat up because these kind of look like short hands for a jacket, but it kind of looks like it's coming out of the body. And here looks more like a tattered up jacket, right? Um, the hat became more of a top hat too. Yeah, yeah, because it was like a tattered up cowboy hat, but then the Gad like stretched that part out, and Gliz stretched it out too, and then Kid Breaker's all like, oh, that's a top hat, so he designed the top hat instead, which I think works. It's not too outrageous or out there, right? But okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Before we go on to the next one, you got anything else to say, uh, Gib?
Nope.
All right, cool. So the next one is done by the Insectary, and like this is like the biggest like disrupting move right here, the spring arm. Because
Yeah, I mean,
I remember, yeah, go
it's
on.
the spring arm, and there's also like so many other aspects as well. Like the shoes are now sharks.
Yeah, yeah, which I dig. Also like the little apps look like kind of like metal. Like this character could be a robot. Um, he Insectary really rounded out like a lot of things. Like a lot of the like Kid Breaker threw in a lot of ideas, and like the Insectary like try to like mush those ideas to make a little bit more sense, I guess. Um, but I remember how the conversation for the spring arm went down. So like Insectary, like when it was Insectary's part, I DM'd him the picture, and then he asked me, "What's that weird thing on the side of the arm?" And then I told Insectary, um, I told him it's whatever you make of it, right? So it's up for your interpretation. And they're like, "Oh, okay," and they made it into a spring arm, which I was like so surprised they went into that direction. Oh god. Because what started out as like a zigzag, as a weird like floating zigzag, turned into whatever this is, and then turned into a spring arm. These are
Yeah, like, if you think about the progression as like the pink overtook his pants, and they forced the zigzag out of its home. It started floating above, and then it like morphed into his arm, and now he's got a spring arm. It's like, just the natural progression of
yeah,
things.
that's evolution for you. This is it's stuff like this that I love to see in these telephone games when like something just like that I would never suspect comes out. I guess because they thought like I mean, I don't. I was gonna say like, oh, because they saw the character was like a snake, and they're all like, oh yeah, snake, spring arm. That there's kind of a connection there, but like at this point, like the character doesn't even really look too much like a snake anymore. The character starts looking more like a crocodile, right? And
Yeah.
there's like just so many like ideas that were thrown in there that like Insectary like kind of does really a good job of like making sense, like top hat, skulls, robot boots, this like metal part body buff ripped up. Like there's so much. This is like a. It's like what a. It's like what a kid like designs when they throw everything at a character, and the Insectary like, puts it all together. But yeah, you got anything? You got anything you want to say, Gib?
I like the bottom, like the heel of the shoe, makes it almost feel like a fluffy slipper.
Yeah,
At that point,
yeah.
it's a fluffy pink slipper with shark metal
I
everywhere
I
else.
thought it was like when a shark swims, like this, like the splashes of it like swimming at you. You get me?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I thought that's what they were supposed to represent. Like I'm not too sure, but these look really cool. I like them. All right, so the next one is done by Vanny Mary, and it's seems to be more of the same. This is like a style translator right here. Um, they kept a lot of the stuff in it. Nothing too much changes. The spring arm is still there. Um, gave it like a blue highlight around the character. Made the boots smaller. Like originally they looked very like Mega Man sized boots, but Vari made them very
Now they're more like,
yeah, they're more
leg
yeah,
boots.
exactly, just regular boots. The character looks a little bit more organic besides like the spring arm, right?
You know what's funny?
What?
I've just noticed is initially the chest was pink and the skin was blue, and now the chest is pink again. It stopped being pink for a while there.
Huh.
Like it was like
Oh yeah,
basically the
the chest.
same as the rest
Yeah,
of the
the chest
skin, but
was
you
pink.
started with like the pink abs,
Yeah, pink abs.
and suddenly there it's back.
Yeah, they were just straight gone. And then okay, yeah, and then Zabel Rock kind of like added like a little different color to it, and just like how the pink overtook the pants, like that color kind of like got more saturated with every version until it went back to pink. This is so crazy. I love it when things are kind of like when things that people weren't aware about come back, right? It's so interesting. Anything else you want to say before you go on to the next one?
Nope.
All right, cool. All right, and this one was done by Sleepy Mime, and this was like more action, more energetic. Um, Makes it look more.
He's definitely starting to look less like a snake and more like just a lizard man.
Right, exactly. I just noticed they also gave them nipples too, or like shadows of nipples, and I like these like fins that they reincorporated from the previous version. I guess it could have just been fins from the start, but now in Sleepy Mind's version they're just straight up fins. The shark also looks sadder on them too.
Yeah, like oh, I didn't want to be a shoe.
Yeah, in Sectary the sharks look aggressive, but then in Mari's version they look like sad. Yeah. No, I don't want to be a shoe. No.
I wanted to be the main character. Why do I have to be the shoe?
Yeah, what were you gonna say, Gib?
I really like the material they seem to be made out of. It looks comfy and squeaky.
Yeah, it does look. It looks very squeaky. I guess to be that slippery, like snake skin looking. They also brought out the pinky too in the gun. I wonder if yeah, none of the other.
No, I think
Yeah,
it's one of my things that came back magically.
It's a throwback. It came back. Yeah, and then yeah, this is more like a champion kind of pose. Like the spring, like in the previous versions, the spring looked like it was made out of the same material as the skin, but now in this one, it's like obviously something else, like some sort of.
Yeah, his arm has been cut off, and he's got a boxing glove on a spring to replace it.
Yeah, some weird cybernetic enhancement. Why does it need the spring arm if it has the gun? I guess when the gun runs out of ammo, you use your spring arm.
Maybe people think he's going to shoot, and then he just punches them from a distance.
Yeah, true. Could be. To throw them off. It's psychological. There's no bullets in the gun. But besides that, I like how the teeth look. They look all weird and just different sizes and varieties just all around. The solidification of the top hat is just like there. It's like a lot. It's like all of it's there, but now it's like different things. Like the character had a hat. The character had like a belt buckle. It had like boots. It had like a gun. It's all there, but now they've just been changed to different things that are like the same thing, but not really. You get me?
Yeah.
This is more of a. It's more of a reinterpreter.
Yeah,
go on.
Yeah, I can see the thing around his arm. It doesn't connect anywhere to the back. It looks like it's just a ring.
Wait, what thing?
Like the others, you could maybe assume that the thing is part of a jacket, and you just can't see the back of it. But it doesn't seem to connect anywhere.
Yeah,
it's just like there.
It seems to be a thing since. Well, I guess since really the Gads version.
Because like. Yeah.
But now like in the Gads version,
you could assume that there was like a back side to it.
Yeah, because you can't see it. Gliss version, it just looks like there's just random spikes coming out. I guess in Gliss version they thought, oh, just random spikes, so a random zigzag. That kind of makes sense. But now it's like in Kid Breaker version, they introduced the idea that that's really more of a ripped up jacket, until it's kind of like just it's just weird, like ripped up.
Just weird armbands.
Yeah, exactly. Just weird armbands, just sleeves like ripped up. Anything else you want to say? Go on to the next version.
Nah, I'm good.
All right, cool. All All right, so this one's done by Bl- Bloodberry Bluu, and it's the same. It's the same pose. It's just this is more. This is like when I mean style translator. This is like the most obvious like example of a style translator. She made the nipples darker. A lot of it's just like a lot of it's like just the same. It's just the style changed, and that's about it. I think in Sleepy Mind's version, they made the top part more heavy, but in Bloodberry's version, she made the bottom part more heavy, gave the character more of an ass. But besides that, like everything's just in place. Like nothing really changed. Anything you want to say, Gib?
Not really.
All right.
I want to see where the nipples go. I want to see if those stay.
Oh boy. Well, let's see. We're gonna go on to Machine's Bunny version, which is more of a wacky Saturday morning cartoon looking character. The hat doesn't really look too much like a hat. It just looks like a ripped up something on the top of the head.
Yeah, it almost looks like a fin.
Yeah. The character doesn't look like a snake. Well, I would say Bloodberry's version is probably the last version where you could sort of see the snake parts, but now it's just like it's like a reptile man. It's just like a lizard man. The shoes are still there. They've just been like simplified. Like everything has just been like simplified as much as possible. The spring is more like now like a tentacle that maybe the character like controls. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It makes me feel weird.
Yeah, it does look a little weird, but I mean,
it's a retractable like coil inside. That if it retracts all the way, it'd just be a boxing glove at the edge
of his shoulder, and it just shoots out. I mean, I guess that's what like a spring is, but in the other versions, it's obviously a spring. But then this character just like made it into like a weird, like a tape, like just a tentacle thing flaying about. This character, what if it just flails?
His arm looks more like a snake than he does.
That's true. Like he's just like a regular reptile man now. But yeah, besides that, it's pretty. I like this. This is a disruptor. This is a big example of disruptor right here, because the energy changes. This isn't like really the same character anymore. Just so much like change. Like a lot of it's there, but like it's just now a different character, right? Anything else you want to say before we go
on? No gun.
Yeah.
He's completely become a boxing glove man.
Yeah.
There's no cowboy left.
Yeah. There's all the cowboy has been sucked out. Yeah. I guess it, like, I mean, you could obviously the gun there, but maybe either.
He dropped it.
Either maybe the gun probably blended in too much with the hand for them, or like they were in a rush to pump this out. We don't know, but now it's like gone. Like yeah, sometimes like that stuff happens. Like something, you'll be surprised about what like disappears. Like if someone told me, like I would have guessed like the little skull on the hat would have disappeared before the gun, but you just never know with these. But yeah, let's go on to the next one, which was made by Cubic Citrus. And this is more like a straight boxing fighter type right here, right?
Yeah, he's got long hair and a snout. He looks almost like what animal am I thinking of?
Crocodile.
It's like a mammal, not a crocodile, like a weasel or something.
Right. I like how like this hat, like it's too much of a shorthand for a hat that it just translates into hair, and it becomes like this mane, which I really dig.
Yeah.
I mean, it all kind of works with the whole boxing thing. This is more of a. I would say it's like the slightest bit of a reinterpreter, but more of a disruptor, right? Because this more kind of like the previous version was more like some probably like background villain, maybe a henchman to another villain looking character who just has like a lot of like things slap on it. But then Cubic Citrus really like solidifies all those things and makes it this character looks like a boxing like champ kind of character, like in
Yeah,
a weird like boxing game kind of thing, which I really dig. Um, the shark shoes are still
it's
there.
the new Tekken fighter.
Yeah, I dig it. Um, yeah, the pose is very strong. It's a strong pose. I like the speed lines. Like, there's so much energy in here. It all kind of like the way the hair flows. Like this character probably.
Yeah, it's a really good
Yeah,
pose.
exactly. It moved to the side for like this punch like that. It looks really good. Anything else you want to say before we go on to the next one?
No, the colors were obviously all different.
Oh yeah.
I'm wondering how it's gonna change.
We'll see. The next one is made by King Protus, and in this one he made the arms more springy. This other arm is like a lot smaller. This looks more like a crown than like hair. But everything is like directly there. It looks like a not the boxing glove looks more like a balloon than a boxing glove. But like yeah, everything is like
Yeah.
everything is there. Anything you want to say, Gib?
Well, I guess it's kind of funny because the only thing he saw or they saw was the outstretched boxing glove with the straight line, and they've decided to add a spring, even though they didn't know a spring had already been a thing.
That is true. Like it just comes back. I guess they assume like this is like the spring stretched out, right? Like the
Yeah.
spring is now completely stretched out, and now it's like the spring like recoiling, right? You know what? Actually, I maybe I feel like maybe cause me and Protus like talk a lot in voice chat, and I probably showed him like an earlier version of the character because I never assumed that he would want to be part of the game, right? So maybe he saw a previous version. I can't remember. That's correct, but I mean, yeah, that is possible. A lot of stuff is there. A lot of stuff in here isn't, you know. But yeah, anything else you want to say before we go?
The shoes, they're the shark faces look more like
Just
Pokemon like Haunter, just an angry like
yeah,
wah,
just like an angry face, right?
like a Halloween shoe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, we got two more left. The next one is done by Ira Bone, or it goes by Maya, and the spring switches the arm this time, and now it's on the left, not on the right anymore, and the looks more like a crocodile now. Doesn't look like a snake man anymore. Also
Yeah,
has a tail now.
yeah, that's a brand new addition.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody really added a tail.
Right now the
I think there was maybe one, but like it's like an actual tail.
right
And he's a crocodile.
and this
Yeah, he's so different from where we started.
it's completely different. So anyway, it feels like it has the same energy as Protoss's version, but just slightly more energetic. You get me?
Yeah, a little bit more. The attitude isn't too different.
Yeah,
Just sort of like huh.
yeah. The character has a little bit more of an attitude in this one. All right. Also, I think
I like the laces on the boots. I guess they've been like X's.
yeah. The Citrus added like these laces, and then those X's stayed on, and then they were officially made yellow in Maya's version. But besides that, yeah, it's nothing too different. Um, pretty style translator with a slight hint of like disruptor, you know. But yeah, anything else you want to say before we go on to the last one?
No, I think I just want to see
All right, cool.
where did we end up.
This is the last one right here. This is done by a Jiggy Comrade on Instagram, and I really like how the spring kind of became more like a gum arm, like a sticky hand that you buy like in a vending machine, kind of like arm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it's very much like a simplified version of the previous. This character looks like it has more attitude. Like it'll give you an attitude problem.
It looks like he's gonna slap you.
Exactly.
He doesn't like you.
Right. And I like how just what was once like a hat becomes hair, and then it morphs into like a crown, and then it morphs into just spikes on the head, which is it's so crazy how like it just this evolution, and it fused the hat onto the head, you know.
Yeah, I like that. I like also the skull just seems to be like a skull jewel, like just embedded.
Right, exactly. I feel like if I got one more artist to after this, I feel like because this is like the side view of the skull on top of the head, right? I feel like if I got another artist, they would turn that skull into like a cap or something, like a baseball cap, because it kind of looks like that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Besides that, this is more. It's more of a style translator with slight hints of a disruption. Nothing too different, you know. But it's so like looking at this, and then looking at the first one. These are just two completely different characters. Like,
who would win if they met in a bar?
Well, this character's got a gun, or maybe this character will catch it with the gum arm. Just yeah, because like so many ideas.
It's funny how
go on.
It's just funny how like there's no skulls at all in the first one.
Yeah, no skulls. This thing that kind of became like a when Perplex Cam like put it in, it just was there, never left, and then like just the original version never had a skull, and it feels very like a Mandela effect. Like, what are you talking about? The character always had a skull, right? But no, not really. It's just some.
Nope.
Yeah, it's so like completely different. I mean, this is why I like stuff like this, because I just like seeing how it kind of changes, like what ideas stayed, what ideas didn't, what was more obvious, what wasn't obvious, you know, like just everything just meshes around and changes. It's just not even like the same character. I guess besides them being, I think the only similarities they have at this point is that they're both like reptiles, and that's about it.
Reptiles with belts.
Yeah.
And some sort of an arm thing.
Yeah, some sort of an arm.
The first guy got a gun. The other guy's got a horrible accident.
I kind of wanted to see if any artist would have like made the character have two sticky arms or something. That would have been wacky. That would have been real wacky.
Then you've just been an arms character.
God, imagine if what if it like looped back into a cowboy? Like I got like maybe 5 artists after this, the character goes back into being a cowboy. That would have been crazy. Oh man, but. Yeah, anything else you want to say, Gib? I guess, because this is the last one, we're going to close on out.
Well, I guess, looking at all these, I wish mine had been more disruptive. Because I think I copied a little too many things from yours.
I don't know. I don't blame you. I mean, I like disruptors, but I think I like it when an idea is like carried out to see where it goes, right? Because, like, I mean, if we get a disruptor after disruptor, it's like, it's always just going to be a different character. Which would be cool to see, but, like, I don't know, some ideas I want to kind of stick around to see where goes, you know?
The mixture of interpretations is the fun part. You never really know where it's going to go, or who's going to do what to it.
Right. And I guess doing this project, it kind of helps me figure out who's a disruptor, who's more of a reinterpreter, who's more of a style translator, right? And, like, it really kind of... Like, it's really cool to kind of, like, mix... Like, next time I do this, I'll mix around the artists some more, right? To see, like, who works better, right? Like, I mean... I think in the... I think... The one that was... The style translator between Coastal Demon all the way to, I think... Momo, like, I mean... That's, like, fine. I think I have a problem if there's, like, 5 style translators in a row. I think that is, like, really my problem. I don't want to have, like, too many, like, style translators right next to each other, you know? I don't want too many of, like, one specific kind of artist. It should be, like, jumbled up, you know? Like, just, it's a spice, you know? It's a variety, you know? It's diversity. It's our greatest strength, you know? Oh, God. But yeah, this was 25 artists. Anything else? I guess this is the end. I guess you could plug your stuff, whatever you want to plug, Gib.
Well, first of all, I'd like to come back and do one of these again.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because it was really fun,
Yeah.
and I really liked the results.
Oh yeah, these results are great. Please ignore that dump truck outside.
guess-
But yeah, go on.
Plug my stuff. I am a comic man, an art boy. I make comics over on giveandtake.site. I got Bale Jape. I got The Lord of Ghosts, which is my most recent thing.
Yeah, check.
I'm working on something else.
Hell yeah.
So check out that giveandtake.site.
Check that all out, and also check out the rest of the videos on this channel, on the CheesyCast channel. I also do a comic. It's called VillainVerse. Links below. All the things Gibb said, it's all down there in the links. So you can check that all out. We're good artists. We swear. Also,
it's true.
It's true. I swear it's all true. And also I want to give you guys a little, because I'm gonna do one more telephone game, right? And with this next telephone game, I'm gonna try to break a record. I'm gonna do 60 artists in a row.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I want to do, because, okay, first one was like 8 artists. Second one was like 12 artists. The third one is 25 artists. And originally I wanted to do 50 artists, but I'm like, it's not enough, because that's already kind of a record. I don't think anyone's done 50 artists, but I kind of want to set the record a little bit so high no one else could pull it off. So we're gonna try to go with 60 artists. And I'm gonna go back, and every artist that's already done all the previous games, I'm gonna bring them all back. And in total that would be like 45 artists, I think, and plus like 15 extra, right? So yeah, so get ready for that. Who knows how long that's gonna be? Like, this project took like a month and a half. And to do 60 artists, probably like 3 months.
You came to me first, and I was like, "Oh shit, I better be punctual with this." And I put my thing, and I was like waiting, when am I allowed to post this online? I like my snake.
Have you?
It just took forever, but now I finally can.
Have you posted yours already?
No, not yet.
All right, cool. But yeah, so yeah, you can post it now. It's fine. But yeah, so I'm gonna do 60. I'm gonna do 60 next time. Just to see where it goes. I wonder what's the rule to hit up Guinness World Records for something like this, because that'd be really cool to have that officially be,
the longest telephone art OC game
ever done, to see you could do it, and then some.
I mean, are there any other artist telephone OC games? Is that a thing people do?
Yeah, it's a thing people do. I think the longest one I ever seen was 20 characters. And this was already kind of beats that. But there's a difference between my telephone game and everybody else's telephone game. Because the one that I based my idea on was this it was 20 characters and they all draw a witch character. But I think the problem with that version was they all knew they were drawing a witch. I like my version because you don't...
Right.
The only thing you know about the character is what the previous artist drew. We don't tell you cowboy. It's also a good way to see if you could draw the idea, it's a good way to test you, to see if you drew a cowboy, will people know you drew a cowboy, right?
Yeah,
because as soon as we get around Gliz to Kid Breaker, it phases out of being a cowboy. It's not a cowboy anymore, right? And it's the identity is it's up in the air, so all the artists are trying to figure out what the identity of this character is, right? Which is just so interesting to see for me, right? And with 60 artists, I kind of want to see how many directions this character goes, right? Because it's just so interesting to watch, right?
Yeah, the longer it will go, the more likely it would have absolutely nothing in common with the original. But then anything that does stick will be even more impressive and interesting to look at.
Right, exactly. All right, so yeah, I'd like to thank all the artists who participate. In the description, there'll be a link to the original Twitter post, which is this one right here, and it'll have all the names of the artists, so you can go check out all their work too, right? I can't wait for the 4th and final episode of the Cheesymanfredo OC telephone game. Can't wait for y'all to see that. And yeah, I think we're done.